Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome to this segment of Quote Gurbani's a-sabad-a-day. The recitation is from Sri Rag Ki War, Salok Mahalla Tija. Manmukh Maili Kaamni Kulakhni Kunari. Pir chhodya kare apna, par purkhe naal pyar. Trishna kade na chukkai, jaldi करे पुकार नानक बिन नावे कुरूप कसोहनी पर हर छोड़ी पतार महला तीजा सबदे रत्ती सुहागणी सतगुर के पाए प्यार सदा रावे फिर अपना सच्चे प्रेम प्यार अति स्वाल्यो सुंदरी शोभावंती नार नानक नाम सुहागणी मेली मेलन हार पौड़ी हर तेरी सब करे उस्तति जिनी फाते काढ़िया हर तुदनो करे सब नमस्कार जिनी पापे ते राखिया हर निमाणिया तू मान हर डाडी हूं तू डाडिया हर अहंकारियां मार निवाए मनमुख मूड साधिया हर भगतां दे वडियाई Garib Anathya. So the state of being a manmukh is really what is undesirable, as we can see in Gurmat again and again. Manmukh Maili Kaamni Kulakhni. Maili, of course, refers to dirt. So the question is, which dirt? And that is a reference symbolically to the dirt of ego. The cloud of ego through which we see ourselves. Kamini, one that is never ceasing to desire. Kulakhani, without any redeeming qualities whatsoever. So it's a way of describing a bride that's unclean, rude, ill-tempered, who leaves her husband for another man. Pir shodya karyapana, par purkhe naal pyar. Parpurk is another man. But her cravings are never satisfied. She remains restless, burns in her desires, and cries out for help. Trishna kade na chukkai, jaldi kare pukar. Now the faithful bride, on the other hand, is a reference to the self-aware mind, which Gurbani has described as Gurmukh. And that is most attractive, beautiful, and noble, and always in intimate and true love with the husband's self, the har within. Sada rave pir apana, sache prem pyar, at swalyo sundari sobhavanti nar, full of qualities. So this is an extremely common metaphor, as you realize, that Gurbani uses, namely that of worldly relationships, especially between husband and wife, to explain to us the methodology of union. And the union is between the individual self and the universal self, if you will, or universal consciousness that we call the self with a capital S, and have given it various appellations in Gurbani like the Har self or the Prab self or Swami. So the essential premise here is that in the spiritual domain, there exists only one male, called the Purakh, universal consciousness or the source of all universal power and energy. This is all pervading. And individuals like you and me, male or female, are symbolized to be females or particular expressions of this universal consciousness or energy. Is jag mein purkh ek hai, hor sagli nar sabaye. That's Gurbani. And so this polarity that is created between the ego self, the haume, and the self, the har, is a way of explaining the matrix of opposites that we experience in a conditioned consciousness. Conditioned meaning we are conditioned in the world of matter. We see the world through the world of matter. And so this conditioning that occurs by design, causes us to see the world as opposites. The good, the bad, the ugly. And this split is what needs to be healed. And so why is the Manmukh so undesirable? Part of that reason lies in the idea that we are here in this world to go beyond simple self-survival, that we also must evolve to higher levels of consciousness, which is why the goal for us is to achieve an integration with the higher self. Because Haume is self-indulgent, it's indolent, it is simply narcissistic, which means it's not being creative, really. It's not producing anything of any value for anything, for anyone. That's part of the thrust within Gurbani, is to become creative, is to exploit this creativity that is within you, inherent. Otherwise, life is just an utter waste. With those thoughts, until the next time, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.